Hey everybody, Kate Buck Jr. here with another social media tip from me to you. This week's question that I got from my Social Media Connect group from one of my students was 2 locations, 2 Facebook pages. So that's the question. If a business has 2 locations, do they keep one page, like for on Facebook page, Instagram profiles? How do you do that? And I answered that question for her inside our paid Facebook group. Now, you're not a member, but I wanted to give you a sneak peek today about what that looks like. So let's listen in as I answer her question. All right, so when you're making this decision about 2 locations, should I have 1 page or 2 page? I always say that it really depends on where you're at with the process. Whenever we're doing social media strategies for people, we always do them first without any limitations in mind. What would I do if I had unlimited resources, all the time, all the money, all the people, all the creative talent in the world? What would be the strategy for this brand? But then you always have to go back and then whittle it down to maybe phases or where to start and then scale and grow to, depending on the particular resources that brand has available in that moment. In the beginning, it is good to streamline your efforts for most brands. The reason is because you don't really have a process down yet, an SOP, and you're probably diluting your efforts both internally with your manpower and also externally for where people should go to look to get information about this brand. So my recommendation is, whether we're talking about like multiple pages for a single location, or even this is same thing holds true for you in your own personal or client efforts, maybe you just start with one platform and then grow to another. So get one platform down and then layer on and start adding multiple platforms once you have a routine in place. This will help to streamline your efforts. It will also help you to be more effective on each platform as you grow. A business owner named Carl White, who taught me that you complete one bridge before you start another. And so many of us are trying to juggle and cross 5 bridges at the same time. It doesn't work. Once you have those systems in place and you've crossed that one bridge though, then it's time to build the next one. In the case where you have 2 locations and 1 page, should you have 2 pages or 1? My recommendation is to start with 1 page for the brand that addresses both locations. Now, there's a couple of interesting things that you can do. So for content marketing purposes, when you make a post on one of these pages that's addressing 2 locations, you want to use your descriptions, your captions, to direct people or to let people know which location you might be referring to. So in the case where my student had asked me this question, it was like a physical therapy clinic, and they were situated not only in 2 different cities, but also 2 different states. Both of those locations will have different activity calendars or different programs, different staff, different hours of operation maybe. And so you would just address that in the caption. In Austin, Texas, our staff is available to you these days of the week. And in our, Oklahoma office, people are available this days a week. You can do that very naturally with your captions. This is achievable, and you have 1 page that's supporting both locations. There's also a paid traffic way to really utilize this strategy in the beginning, and that is with back-end retargeting. So again, I have 2 locations. I'm starting off to streamline my resources with 1 page, and I'm posting content that hopefully appeals to both, but when it's specific to one location or the other, I address that in the caption. Well, what you can also do is back-end retargeting. So let's say I make a post, an organic post with a quote or something or a video, and people engage with that post. I can then use advertising vis-a-vis the retargeting method of paid advertising. Now I can make an ad that segments and talks about my brand only specifically to people who live in each location. So I might have made a post about our physical therapy program and how maybe we just got a new piece of equipment, and I'm utilizing and showing a video with our patients using that new piece of equipment. If I now wanted to make a call to action for people in Austin to come check out that new piece of equipment, and Oklahoma City, as the example that I'm using, to check out the other piece of equipment, maybe to book a call or to schedule an appointment to download maybe a white paper or something about this piece of equipment and how it can help them, or maybe to hear some case studies from patients that have used it and gotten benefit from it, I would go into my ads manager and I would create a retargeting campaign. And now I would address the Austin schedule and only target Austin people in that ad. And then I would do the same thing in the Oklahoma ad, address the Oklahoma people, point them to the Oklahoma booking site. But so I had one piece of organic content, but I can retarget both locations vis-a-vis the ads manager. Ultimately, you are going to have to separate the pages. You have two different audiences with two different interests. If I'm in Austin, I'm not going to want to hear about what's going on in Oklahoma, and vice versa. But you can make a plan for this as you grow. You can do this a phase 2 plan. Once you get the muscle under, once you're used to going to the gym every morning and you've got that practice down, then you can layer on whatever the next, thing is. Maybe now you'll work on adding your supplements and like that. And that is really the best way to approach a situation like this. You know that you'll eventually split the pages, but in order to get some traction, in order to grow and have some momentum, you'll start with one page. You'll just do it smartly, knowing the end goal is to split the pages at some point. That's what I have for you today on 2 locations, 1 page. All right, well, there you have it. There's the answer to your question. More than 1 location? Should you have 2 pages or 1 page? Obviously, you need a scalable strategy to start in one place and grow to the other. So if you liked this video and you want to see more like it, I have 2 suggestions for you. The first is subscribe to this channel so that you can get more free videos from me on YouTube. But the second is, if you want to be able to ask me your questions and you want me to answer your questions directly, then you should definitely become a member of my Social Media Connect group. You can go to socialmediapro.com to find out all about it. See you later.